This week's international article is Trump on the Paris Accords, We're Getting Out. And it's from a CNN article by Kevin Liptak and Jim Acosta on June 2nd, 2017, which was one day after President Trump announced that we were getting out of the Paris Accords. Well, we might start the discussion with what were the Paris Accords. And basically the goal of the Paris Accords, sort of the framework, was to limit global warming to an increase of 2 Celsius per year, or about 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. In announcing that we were pulling out of the Paris Accords, or that the United States was pulling out of the Paris Accords, President Trump said, "I was elected by the citizens of Pittsburgh, not Paris," on June 2nd. But despite President Trump's move to leave the Paris Accords, there are a number of things that have to be done, and the complicated process of withdrawal won't conclude until November 20th, which at least leaves the possibility open that this will become a campaign issue in the next election, and in fact, the process of getting out then might be stalled. As the president has said often, he wants to renegotiate the Paris Accords, but the leaders of France, Italy, and Germany have basically said no, as have a number of other countries. These countries are sort of the spokes group for the other countries, and basically the idea is no one country, according to these folks, can push a renegotiation by itself. One of the items in the Paris Accords for getting it down, getting global warming down so that it didn't increase by more than 2% a year, was that there be carbon reduction targets. And President Obama agreed to negative 26 to 28% in carbon reduction. President Trump announced that this carbon reduction target would be ended. And also that the U.S. will stall contributions to the United Nations Green Climate Fund, which works to try to end or slow global warming. The U.S. move to get out of the Paris Accords may isolate it from a global effort to stem pollution and allow China to fill the leadership void. China and France have criticized the United States for leaving the Paris Agreement, as has Canada. And the underlying question that remains is, will nations that remain in the Paris Agreement reap the benefits in jobs and industries created? In other words, when President Trump makes his argument that he's elected by the citizens of Pittsburgh, not by the citizens of Paris, and of course Pittsburgh's a metaphor for all of the United States, the $10,000 question is, will leaving the Paris Accords actually bring jobs to the United States? Clearly they would allow jobs to be less expensive because they won't have to have included in their cost the cost of pollution control equipment. But would somehow businesses in both the United States and in other countries seek products from places where countries have remained in the Paris Accords? Time will tell. Take care. Good luck.